What's up, guys? It is Will here for another episode of Lights, Camera, Collect every Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. As you can see here, we got an amazing, very handsome panel tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. We're going to talk about the Spider-Man, the Mark V. We're going to talk about, what else was on the docket? The Valkyrie, statues, how to love collecting, unboxing, all that good stuff. If we can get to everything. That's, if I can get to everything. If not, I'll save some of the topics and give them to you guys on Sunday. But before we get into the topics and before we address the chat, let's address this amazing panel. Anthony, dude, Sixscalemafia, dude, it's been a while. But the exciting news, you're here tonight, and I'm going to be with you tomorrow night. So
how exciting!
I know, bro.
It's been a minute.
Colliding. I know, man.
I know, right? No, it's good, man. It's good. These are good topics to discuss, and it's good to be here, man.
Thanks, man. Well, happy to have you here, dude. So, and hopefully you get some sleep, some good sleep tonight.
I know, man. I've been dragging ass, dude. Like, so my apologies, but I am here. I'm alert. Good, I do have some coffee.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I've never been a coffee guy. I've never really drank coffee before. So, I don't. Have you always been a coffee guy?
Always been a coffee guy, man.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just in my DNA.
Yeah. Do you feel like you need it in the morning to like kind of?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I hear, though.
I'll be the first to admit. Man, I tried quitting coffee for I switched to decaf for 5 days.
Yeah.
And I had the worst migraine for 5 days. I was like, nope, day 5 or whatever. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's what I've heard. I've heard that caffeine withdrawal is real. So,
it's real. It's real.
That's why I try to stay away from it, even though I have low energy, but it's fine. I'll just work through it, I guess.
Yeah.
But happy to have you here, man. So
of course, man. It's great.
Yeah, it'll be very exciting. And Kiko, Master of Statues, dude, how you doing tonight?
Man, I am so good. I am back to back on your show, which is pretty damn incredible. And I'm happy to be here with you. And you showed us backstage some of this hot take, wonderful topics that we're going to be getting into. I can't wait for that. That's going to be good. But other than that, hopefully everyone has earned their weekend. I know I certainly have. I understand what you're saying by dragging a little bit, but I will not ever understand the coffee thing. I think it tastes terrible. And I have to ask you, man, do you do it for the flavor, for the heat, just for the caffeine?
Dude, just for the injection, bro.
The injection, you need the caffeine injection.
My wife wakes up and breaks like a little caffeine pill every morning, and then around lunch she takes the other half, and so she has to have it to keep moving as well. So if the days come when she's out of her little pills, I mean, she's not really pleasant to be around, and so we need to make sure that that's situated.
Well, did she drink coffee a lot back in the day?
No, she doesn't like coffee either. She's I think she grew up on all the Monsters and all that stuff. So that's
what I'm saying. Energy drinks or sodas, like anybody who's in that routine of drinking caffeine all the time, and then all of a sudden they cut it out. Because I got friends that take caffeine pills now too. It's
I didn't even know those existed. So
you can just go and get the simple Stay Awakes, I think is what they have at Walmart. If you just want to get those, just Stay Awakes. I mean, they're simple, but then you can have the heavy hitters, 600 milligrams, punch in the ass type things.
Damn.
I mean, you can go that route as well, but I think the Walmart one's only 200 milligrams, and you break that up, just a nice little jolt to start your day. So hopefully you enjoyed this Lights, Camera, Coffee.
I know, right? Because
Yeah, that's pretty exciting though. Yeah, but I've heard the same, Anthony, about coffee. But I'm like you, Kiko. I do like the smell of it, but I have tasted it maybe once or twice, and it wasn't.
It's burnt wood, man. It's burnt wood.
It's burnt wood.
Yeah, it just depends, man. If you're drinking, are you drinking a light roast, a dark roast? I
don't know what
that strong Colombian blend. I mean, there are. Okay, so look, I do like flavor too. Don't get me wrong.
I'll take all the sugar all day if they'd be like, okay, hey, you want my macchiato caramel spicy maki thing? Then yeah, cool. I'm all for that.
I don't need the frilly frou-frou drinks and stuff. But I do like to have a little sweetener sometimes.
What is the pink drink? What is Starbucks pink drink?
Dude, that's my jam, bro. That's dragon fruit.
It's what's all I've heard is the pumpkin spice. That's all I know.
No, it's dragon fruit lemonade.
Is it got caffeine in it? Is it coffee?
No, it's not coffee. It's just a drink.
Oh, I thought Starbucks only sold caffeinated things, even their food.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, they injected caffeine into the bagels.
What do you know?
Dude, that would be great.
Yeah, it would be. You don't even need the pill at that point.
Maybe I quit coffee at that point.
Into your little egg sandwich.
Well, we've really digressed here, haven't we?
We've started with a bang. So
it works.
Yeah, but guys, thanks so much for joining. Let's address the chat real quick, and we'll jump to our first topic and waste no time. Rather reviews Riley, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Channel member Riley. He's going to be in Vegas with us, so I'm excited about that. So Ash Chase, and we're not going to do what Carlos wants to do. Ash Chase, what's up, Riley? What's up, Riley? Indeed. Ash, AJ, channel member, what's up, AJ? And Carlos said, where are we going, Riley? I don't know. Saiful said, oh my God, it's lights, camera, collect. Let's go. What's up, Saiful? Thanks so much, bro, for the words of encouragement. Comics Swag. What's up, Comics? Lewis the Bits. What up, all? Enjoy the weekend, crew. Absolutely. El Professoro, Beard God himself.
Mario.
What's up, dude? What's up, Mario? I was chatting with him a little bit earlier. We got to connect soon, Mario. 12-inch Moose Dream.
We will tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, there we go. See? Worlds are colliding at this point. 12-inch Moose Dream. Hello, community. What's up, 12-inch Moose Dream? Collector Joey. Hello, my dudes. Let's see. Docinator. What's up, Docinator? The Shredder himself. Let's see. Collectibles chats. What's up, panel? Hope all is well. Bless everybody. What's up, collectible chats? Thalia Meyer. Hello, everyone. Good for health. Hey, yo, what's up? Pedro Lopez. Hello from Texas. Patton said, what's up, fellow collectors? I think it's Patton 23. Yep, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Tyria, hi, Will, Mafia, Kiko, and chat. Hey, Tyria, how you doing? Let's see here. Over else, I don't do caffeine. I used to exclusively before performance, but not now. Interesting. Hold my balls. Yo, what's up, Hold My Balls? Always good to see you. Shiny. What's up, Shiny? Look at these fine people. Thanks so much, Shiny. Let's see here. Coffee is a must in the AM if I can absorb it on my face. Yeah, pretty much those bits. Yeah, I think there's a large segment of the population like yourself. Adrian Aguare. Hi, guys. Adrian. Hopefully I pronounced your name correctly. It's always a tough one. Let's see here. Passion for art. What's up? AJ said, I drink good coffee, so it tastes fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's levels to everything, right? So
hey, we got coffee drinkers uniting, bro.
See, we brought the people.
I know
together
it's not for everybody.
So. Adrian said, I'm at D23. I just got the Spider-Man Avengers canvas. Oh, nice. So you're gonna have to show that one, Adrian, in the Facebook groups or something. Weiss Fakiri. Weiss, I can never pronounce your name correctly either. These difficult names, man. I'm an ignorant American. I don't know these things. Hey, all, what's up, man? Let's see. Natalie G said, look at these three handsome fellas all in one stream. Thank you so much, Natalie. Appreciate it. Bruce Leon said, what up, party? People love the energy. Great group of weirdos. Indeed. We'll take that.
Be strange, man.
We'll take that title. Collector Joey said Dragon Fruit Refresher is the best. Oh, okay. See?
It's good.
There you go. Maybe Kiko and I would try it when I go to Nashville.
To each their own. Yes. Get your ass over here, by the way.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Look, it's like a lemonade with dragon fruit.
But I'm sure it's like $98.75, right? The total.
98.75. Well, more like 98 cents, maybe.
They don't.
Right.
No, well, I think it's like $3 or $4 or something. But
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
I had one more Starbucks thing. Don't they have like cake pops?
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
I don't really go there.
I remember I was at Disneyland of all stupid places, and I saw someone go into a Starbucks and come out with a cake pop. I thought, I was like, that looks really fucking good, and
Nice.
I really want a cake pop. Just one.
Yeah,
I haven't
think I've
eaten
ever had a
today
cake pop
yet,
before.
by the way.
Just
so
go in there
why.
one time.
That's why
bro.
you're like this today.
Walk into a local Starbucks and be like, I really dislike
Hello,
coffee.
good sir.
I hate your establishment, but I
Hello,
really
sir.
want to try one of these cake
I
pops.
resent your establishment, but I would like one cake pop.
Please,
tell
yeah.
him.
So then just go from there.
Yeah, he'll be like, that'll be $98.75.
Pretty much.
That's what I'll tell you. Chris Sanders, hey everyone, what's up, Chris? Adrian Aguare, new Iron Studios says new Hulk Ragnarok, a new Ahsoka Tano quarter scale prototype. Nice, dude. Iron Studios showed some good stuff today. What's up, Christian Lopez? What's up, Mo Collection? Hello there. Hot Drifter 25. What's up? Nice panel. I'm subscribed to all. Greetings from Switzerland. Oh, greetings from Switzerland. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Kiko, are any of those posters autographed? Are they, Kiko?
Nope.
Nice. That would, yeah.
I take that back. The that Max Rebo print or whatever is signed by the artist.
Oh,
that was a Star Wars Celebration special.
And speaking of that question, I've been looking at it for a while. There's a Tom Hiddleston Loki print, 16x20, that is autographed. It's pricey though, it's $400. So it's it's
That's
quite
a small picture for that price.
Yeah. But Tom Hiddleston, he doesn't really seem to
Not
sign
for
much,
Will, dude. He is obsessed with Loki.
Yeah,
bro.
it's true, bro. It's true. And I don't have one, Anthony. I need a signed photo from him. So, I'm gonna frame it. I got a spot for it. So let's see. Nice to catch you guys at midnight. Posing with Peter. What's up, Peter? We got to talk, man, so I can get you on here if you're willing, that is, because I'd love to bring you on. Let's see. We're all weirdos, brother. Ash Chase, I got a coffee right now. See, there you go. Yeah, no worries. It's pronounced Wise. Oh, Wise. Okay, Wise. Okay. You probably told me that before, so I'm sorry. Carlos said, I just can't do coffee. You get addicted. I'm telling you, high dose of vitamin B complex does the same. It's literally the same that's used in a Red Bull without the addiction or crash. See?
Dr. Carlos spitting truth.
Science lesson. Tea greater than coffee. I don't like tea either, actually. I'm not a tea guy.
Dude?
Sweet tea's the shit, though.
Really? Not for me, man. I don't.
You ever wonder why they call it unsweetened? Because you can't like unsweeten the tea.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right?
Why
you can sweeten it. Tea is not naturally sweet.
Yeah. My mind just got fucked. Wow.
It's like a fucking, right? You're like, wait a minute. How are you undoing it? Like,
you want to know the best of both worlds, honestly, if you're talking about tea and energy, is Monster Energy makes a rehab, and they have a peach tea rehab, which is basically a Monster tea that recovers you, and it's not as like potent as like your like liquid Monster stuff. So sponsored by Monster tonight.
See, there you go. I like just Gatorade, honestly. Like I'll drink
OG.
Yeah, like even if I don't do like a sport that day, if I'm not being active, I'll still be like, yeah, I want a Gatorade. Orange is the best. So
well, it's important to get your electrolytes too.
Correct.
See? Basically any color but yellow. I don't like yellow, but any other color Gatorade I'm pretty much fine with.
Yeah, so. The yellow sucks.
Yeah, yellow is the worst.
It's like yellow Starbursts.
Yeah, I agree.
Pink Starbursts are the best. So
pinks. Yeah,
it's all about the pink. What's up, husband Peter, Anthony? Yep, absolutely. Feel like I need coffee right now. Been a long day for me. Mandalorian Huntress in the chat. Hello there, Mandalorian Huntress. Thanks for joining. Tully said, "What's up, Will? Hope you're all well, man. Hope you're well, Tully, as well." So many different types of tea, though. Some taste horrible and have no benefits at all. Carlos said, Gatorades. What do you want? Diabetes? No, I want electrolytes, bro. That's what I want.
Right.
So, cucumber Gatorade. Oh, see, I didn't know about that. I probably wouldn't like that. I don't like cucumber. But there's the dogs. The pups are there.
Yep. Right, Drago let us know that UPS just got here.
Okay. Nice. It's probably a statue. Let's talk about the Spider-Man from Avengers Campus that just got announced today. I want to show this is on Facebook. So this looks like a D23 exclusive, it seems. So we don't really have many details as far as I'm aware on this piece yet. But Anthony, I want to start with you on this one, man. What are your overall thoughts on this? Because I know this just dropped like this morning.
I don't know. Like,
took his words out of his mouth.
That's how I feel.
Know. Well, because I have to like think about it, right? Because it's kind of like when you just see a movie or a TV show and you just have some time to process it, right? Like I kind of feel that way, right? Because I just literally saw this today. I don't know how I feel about it as far as a figure. It's cool because it's Spider-Man, right? On one hand, I'm kind of like, yeah, that just solidifies that Hot Toys is really a Disney company. Because that's all we keep getting. It's cool that it's an exclusive. I like that part, if it is indeed an exclusive, right? Like I'm not going to judge the figure because the figure looks great. They make great figures. That's a no-brainer. The question is what happens in a month or two? Are these going to be available on Sideshow? Is this just specifically for the event? They say it is, kind of like that D23 cap was, so I don't know, but I mean, it looks cool, man. It's part of the, whatchamacallit, right? The campus thing that they have there at the park. So I get it. It's pretty cool. I stopped collecting, Spider-Mans, but I think he looks pretty cool overall. Get the churro. I think that's the coolest part, but right.
Leal's happy somewhere.
Right. No, it's otherwise. Yeah. I mean, it's, I didn't know, like, I don't know. It's cool. It's weird that it's comic masterpiece, though.
Yeah, right.
That's one thing that was kind of like, Right. But it's not comic book, right?
Yeah, I guess in a way it is. But
yeah, right.
They're all comic books.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I hope they keep doing more and more exclusive stuff. Because it seems like lately, like that we've gotten that with the celebration stuff. And then Arena Fett, then maybe this. Like, I want to see more exclusive style figures, but overall, no, it's cool, man. If you're collecting Spider-Man, this is pretty neat. I just don't know if you can get it later. That's, we don't know yet.
Right. I'm thinking kind of you won't, Anthony. I mean, I guess the D23 cap they made Endgame cap out of, but so it's like basically the same, just a little bit different. But Yeah, I mean, it was just like an early version. But yeah, they might make this available later. But Hot Toys seems to be trying some of this exclusive stuff out just to see what happens. But, I guess we'll see. But Kiko, what do you think, man, about this Spider-Man? What are your overall thoughts? I can see Riley in the chat. He's pretty excited about this one. But what do you think?
I think it's cool too. I do wonder, does it come with like the neck brace? Because isn't this the guy that like crashed into because it's like the little version of the guy that like flies around at Avengers Campus and
did he crash?
Well, there's that one where it broke and went flying into like the wall. Didn't you see that one?
No, I gotta look that up now.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a fake or not, but yeah, it like broke because it's like a simulated guy that like does this really cool stuff. But anyway, it broke and he went flying into the wall. Anyway, I love the colors. I really do. And it's essentially zombie Spider-Man sans cape with hoodie and fabric as opposed to like rubber pleather type of thing. Mm-hmm. It looks more posable than your average rubber Spider-Man. I think that's a plus for sure. Going back to like the D20. Yeah, there it is. Is this real?
I don't know. That can't be real. I think
it's the thing that broke.
That can't be real.
Yeah, so
it's got to be like it's clearly not a real person. I mean,
I know that, but I was like, is it like did it literally break? Okay, so yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Okay,
with that being said, is that I know the D23 is absolutely unobtainable, like the cap or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not that anyone really wants it, but it was so limited. It was also during COVID and all that stuff, so maybe that was part of it too. I can see, and then they released in-game cap later, so most people didn't really care. I can see people honestly being kind of pissed if this one doesn't make it to mass distribution and it's only available at D23, or hell, go ahead and just make this an exclusive at the park. It gives you a reason to go to the park or whatever and pay the $500 that they charge for Hot Toys, at Disney World. So, I mean, it's pretty much what you're going to pay for it anyway. So, I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, I know we're going to talk about it a little bit later on, but people just get so upset about everything. And damn, I mean, the people that complain aren't going to get the shit anyway. So, I mean, just let the people that are hype about it get hype about it. If it's not for you, just
99% of people, yeah.
Right.
I mean, if it's not for you, just move on and wait for your release. If you're a DC honk and yes, you got some valid concern saying, fuck, I never get nothing. Why in the world do they not have anything for me? Then yeah, you can get mad. But if you like say, oh man, I just got Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. Now there's two. What? Come on, Howard, do something for me. XYZ, we need this. I mean, they just complain about everything. I mean,
well, that's why Inart's coming in for all the DC folk. So Inart's coming in hot.
I hope so. We'll see more soon on all that, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. But I'm with you guys overall. I think this is pretty cool. I mean, I was telling Anthony, I think before you got in the back room, Kiko, that I would have liked to have seen the Tom Holland final suit from No Way Home before this one. But I guess it's a time thing because it's a convention exclusive, right? It's meant to be, let's promote the Avengers campus. So clearly this is like a Hot Toys are working with Disney type move where they're like, promote our park, but I do like the idea, Kiko, that both you guys reference about, this being sold at the park exclusive. I think that would be pretty cool. Give you a reason to go. They would upcharge the shit out of it. Yeah, they'd probably charge $400 for it, where it would normally be maybe $285 or something. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It looks very similar to the original suit. The tech suit looks very, very similar to that. Just kind of with a new logo on the chest, but
some nice gauntlets and things like that.
Yeah, it's got some cool accessories. Most people are not going to put the hoodie on him, but it's cool to have. I mean, if you wanted to do it, so I mean, it's there's some cool stuff.
Yeah, it's a neat piece. It's a neat piece, and I like that it is a D23, right? It's kind of that's cool. We don't, back in the day we had a few things like that. That's like few and far between these days, so seeing it, and I think you're right. I think Hot Toys is trying to, try to play with that idea again, right? Make things a little more limited. Not everything, obviously, because they crank out way too much shit, but more certainly than they have been lately, right?
Yeah. I get to, I agree. And Alien Queen in the chat, thanks for Alien Queen, says you saw the sign and retails for $300. Okay, there we go. Sounds about right. So. Yeah, I was saying like $285, but with the accessories and stuff, $300 seems about right. So, yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. Guys, let's talk about Valkyrie because Valkyrie's been, touched on in various streams, by various, channels and whatever about, the timeliness of the figure and the overall quality of it. I think this figure looks really, really good overall. There are some angles where I feel less stellar about it. Like when I look at some of the side shots, I'm like, like something's off with the head, like I feel like the proportions rather.
Yeah.
The shoulders also bug me a little bit. I would have preferred seamless, but at the end of the day, if you pose her like that with seamless, you're going to get tears. So it's a trade-off, right? But to me, I'm not a huge poser anyway, so I'd probably keep her in a more static pose if I did get her. And I'd prefer the seamless, but this is probably not going to be a figure for me nonetheless, so my criticisms can probably go out the window, but those shoulders do kind of bother me a little bit. They take me out of the realism of the piece.
Bother me a lot.
Yeah, they pull me out a little bit in, and that's, I think, the problem. Like with Hot Toys and now in art, right, we're like, we like the realism, like that's what they're known for, that's what they're going for. So when you see those shoulders, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at a toy again. That's when it takes you out of it, right? And wrist pegs tend to do that too, but she has gloves on, luckily, so it works out. But Anthony, what do you think, man? Did Hot Toys overall deliver on this? I mean, I think this sculpt's pretty good.
I think the sculpt is good. I don't think they delivered on it. You know, personally, just because, like, and I know it's hard to see in these photos, but like when we watch that video up close, like MRC's video, and you can like see those shoulders, man, they're bad. I mean, and maybe I'm being snooty about it, but like just looking at it, in person, because these are shots, they got lighting and stuff. I don't think it's gonna bother most people, but like you were saying, like with seeing other things coming up, looking for more realism, it does take me away. But I also think this whole Love and Thunder line just looks like Marvel Legends, and I don't necessarily blame Hot Toys for it. I think it's just the art, the wardrobe design for that movie. But yeah, I mean
it's
like you'll see like him kind of zoom in on those corners there. It's just like, you're right. It just takes it away.
And the body's a different color. Maybe it's the lighting, but
yeah, that's what's tough. But I think the sculpt looks really good. The hair is amazing. Maybe too little, too late. I don't know. I mean, for me, it is. It would have been cool if we got her from Ragnarok or even in Endgame, right? But it's cool that she's here, like no doubt. But you're right. Like the shoulder, for me, the shoulders just, I don't like that, because it does. Then you're like, damn, it really feels. I mean, especially if you pair them up with the other Thor figures, I'm like, So for me, no. I mean, but I think they did a good job overall. And I get why they did it, because, like I said, if it was a whole seamless body, now you're already going to have to contend with these elbows. Then if you have to contend with the butterfly joints, that figure's going to fall apart, because people want to pose these more, superheroes are more, people generally want to pose superheroes more than, say, like a Star Wars figure in that respect, right? Because they're way more agile looking, unless you're messing with Jedis or something. But, so I get why they did it. But those shoulders, they do kind of turn me off a little bit, to be honest with you. But otherwise, it looks like a great figure.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I do feel like the sculpt is very strong overall. Some of the proportions could be slightly better, but you raise a really good point, Anthony, about if you're going to go seamless arms, you might as well go all the way and just do the seamless shoulders too. Maybe there was some other reason they didn't, but I mean, because you can't really pose her and bend her arms for that long with the seamless arms anyway. So if you're already limited by that, then you might as well be limited both ways. So, and I guess
it's a weird hybrid.
Yeah, they're always going. I mean, I've always heard the notion expressed that Hot Toys is about realism, not necessarily about posability, right? So if that's the case, then why not make the shoulders seamless? But I don't know. There had to have been a reason. But Kiko, what do you think, man? How do you feel about this figure overall?
I'll say that for all the people that were bitching about this, if you don't get it, don't complain again about something that you want to have that doesn't show up, because once again, the vote with your wallet type of thing. But I really do think they did shoot themselves in the foot with this, because people were clamoring for Ragnarok or Endgame Valkyrie for a long time. And obviously they had the rights to the likeness and things like that, or maybe they didn't think that she played a big enough role in either of those movies. I don't know who makes any of those decisions, but once again, what Anthony just said about the costume choices for this movie is they're limited because of the way the outfit is. I mean, what are you going to do? There's no shoulder pads, there's nothing like that, and so they're like, geez, it's kind of a revealing outfit, so what do we do if we're going to make it posable? There you go. I mean, that's pretty much your only option. Will they come and change something? doubtful. I mean, who knows at this point? But if that's the thing that's going to stop you from buying this figure, you didn't want it in the first place. Let's just be honest. And
that's true. That's true.
That's not that's not something that's going to be a deal breaker for all the people that wanted Valkyrie. Now, there is some people that I feel like this head sculpt is going to be quite pricey on the secondary market, because there is that third party in-game Ragnarok version of her that looks terrible from the neck up, essentially. So if you swap the head out, then you got a badass figure, at that point. And maybe, as we've seen before, Hot Toys those third-party people love to get copies of these sculpts and literally just recreate them and then, sell them and plop them on. So I think there's going to be a lot of combination pieces out there. But as I've said, I can't stress it enough. For the people that always complain about never getting anything, or getting mad that they give us Spider-Man, when something new comes out, then they're like, oh, I don't want that. It's not what I wanted, type of thing. It just, there's no pleasing anybody. And I think at some point, Hot Toys as a business knows that it's like, okay, we're going to just make what will sell, because if these sell, cool, we're going to make money. For all the little people that want to bitch online, they can just sit there and not have a new figure. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. That is a fair point. Like, if we're going to say that we want things that are new and different, we also have to support those things, right? They also have to be good. But I think, like you said, Kiko, anyone who wanted a Valkyrie figure, I don't see them being majorly disappointed with this. I think the people like Anthony and myself and maybe others who are like, Valkyrie's cool, I like Valkyrie, but I wouldn't drop $300 or $270 on a Valkyrie, right?
And that's the other thing about it.
That's why
people have been complaining about the price hikes and stuff. $270 is fairly fair if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a smaller figure, so it's not like the size of Venom or something like that. But I know Peter said, he's like, I'm curious, is anyone on the panel not like Love and Thunder and will still get Valkyrie? And I'm one of those people. I consider that the worst Thor movie, honestly, above or under Dark World, because at least Dark World had Loki in it. But with this one, it was just, they tried to be too silly during serious moments. And I guess we're past the spoilers talking. It's on Disney Plus now. Yeah, it like literally just irked me, like to where they were just so full. They, being the producers, were just so full of themselves to where they couldn't let moments breathe. Like when they are going to the Shadow Realm and they crash into the realm and you hear the goats. There should not be the goats in that moment when they're getting ready to fight Gore the God Butcher. There should not be any humor at that point. And I just could not get over that. So like, I really did not like the movie, but I like the character and I like the figure. So yeah, I'll be picking that up.
Yeah. And I'm a little bit surprised they haven't announced Gore yet, to be honest. I thought for sure that he would be up even before Valkyrie, but I'm assuming maybe they're still working on it. But Gore I would kind of be interested in. I liked him. In the film. I thought he was good.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, so I thought Christian Bale was great. I don't hate the film. I thought it was very okay. Like, I thought it was very, it's probably,
I gave it a 3
adequate
on Letterboxd.
Yeah, I thought it was like a 7.5. That's what I would give it. Like, I view it on the same level as Multiverse of Madness, because I didn't really, Multiverse of Madness was about the same to me.
Honey, no. That's a 4.5.
Man. Bro, Multiverse of Madness is not, I didn't like it.
Yes, I just rewatched that one.
Really?
That's fine. That's fine.
Dude,
we can
we were on the same page with the Loki thing, but now we're not. So
well, Multiverse of Madness still has that Sam Raimi feel, though. There were parts where I felt like I was rewatching like Evil Dead or Army of Darkness. You can feel that he did that movie. And you could totally feel that Taika Waititi did this, but I feel like he made it for 8-year-olds.
Maybe I'm just
or something. That's how I feel, because it was too much humor.
Well, it's interesting, and before we move on from this one, but like, because Ragnarok is very similar to this. And like, I do feel like people overall liked it. But when I walked out of the theater Ragnarok the first time, I was pretty disappointed, because I was like, I expected something entirely different based on the precedent Thor films had set. So it took me a while to warm up to Ragnarok, because I was like, okay, my expectations were not met, so I have to reevaluate that and rewatch it, right? And then I liked it a lot more. But this film, they kind of went for like a 2.0 Ragnarok, but it didn't quite work as well. Like, it didn't quite hit that formula that they were going for in the first one. But
I just
Ragnarok
don't think you
felt
can.
way.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that it felt way more comic book. The color palette and the art style of the atmosphere was all Jack Kirby. So that's 100%. why I liked Ragnarok. I was like, wow, it feels like I'm reading, older, 70s, 80s comic era, and then I got to see Gladiator Thor, which I know they couldn't do Planet Hulk, with the rights to Hulk and everything. So I was like, wow, okay, it's cool to see him. The atmosphere is what I liked. I don't like all the humor.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was getting at, is that you could do that with Ragnarok, but it's hard to make jokes when cancer is the underlying theme of your movie. I understand you can put humor, but you can't do that much when, cancer is like a major part of that movie. But that's my opinion. And as I was saying, maybe Multiverse of Madness just hits different for me just because I love Liz Olsen so much, and it is what it is.
Yeah, she's great. She carries that film to me, but she really does. But guys, let's address the spicy elephant in the room, the Mark V reissue, right? Because this is one that I think everyone has been, talking about one way or another. They're either up in arms or they don't care, right? This is the Mark V reissue for those who have not seen it. I'm assuming everyone probably has, but it's basically just an Iron Man with a different base. It's the Mark V. Now they have the suit up Iron Man. They have the original suit up Mark V, that is the original Mark V. They have the reissued diecast Mark V, and now they have this one, which is the same figure but with a racetrack base, right? It's listed as an exclusive.
4.
Yeah, right. 4. So
don't forget the plastic version.
Yeah, because the plastic version is original.
Yeah. 2010 was the plastic version. 2017 was the diecast version. 2021 is what we just got, who just recently became in stock at Sideshow about 3 months ago.
Yep.
And now we're getting this.
And the suit up version.
What's interesting though, I want to kind of introduce this, is like, I'm not so sure this is ever even going to make it to Sideshow, because this is an Hot Toys exclusive, which is what pretty much they've done with the Mark 46 and the stealth suit cap, right? So those are still not on Sideshow, which is very odd, very unusual. So I'm wondering if this is going to follow suit, and this is not even really going to be widely available. It's going to be sort of an exclusive, which is what it's labeled as, right? With Hot Toys, whenever the Hot Toys list something exclusive, we've always just kind of brushed them off. We would have been like, exclusive, really? Not really for Hot Toys. That doesn't exist, right? But for this, maybe they're starting to try that. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. I'll lead with saying, I don't like that they did this. I think it's bad timing. I think it is one of those things where it is kind of Beskar Mando-ish, but not quite that bad. I don't think it quite reaches that height. I do think it's interesting though, like to hear everyone's thoughts on this and say like, that they might be upset about it. But like I said, the hypocrisy I kind of find in that sometimes is like the people who say that, they don't care about value or only love of collecting. When something like this comes out and it devalues your figure, then you care, right? That's kind of my point with it. Like, I don't like that they did this. I don't like that they, really, like devalued everyone's figures, but it's kind of like, if you don't care about value, right, and you only care about getting the one that you love the most, then you wouldn't really care about selling the one you have and taking a loss and buying this one. Because if it's all about the love and not the value, that's my point. I think it is about the love first and foremost. It should be. That's how you shouldn't collect any of these things for value, but it is a consideration, has always been my point. But, I've always received some pushback on that. So I want to hear everyone's thoughts. But Anthony, how do you feel overall about this reissue, dude? The reissue? Like, what do you feel a way about it, or do you not care?
Yeah, of course I feel a way about it, but I feel like I disagree with you in the sense that I feel that the Beskar Mando is worse. I think this is worse.
Okay.
Just because, with the Chrome Mando coming, he does come with, Boba Fett's armor, all the sacks, he comes with the Pedro Pascal head sculpt. There's more to it. Yeah, I know, one could argue they do this a lot. We got, but they were different. They were different circumstances, right? Like we got the Scout Trooper speeder bike from Mando. And then once that finally hit, then they dropped the Return of the Jedi one, right? But they're different. Like this to me is just kind of, secondly, when you say, okay, maybe it's not going to come to the States. True. Maybe it's not. But for everybody watching streams, members of the communities, they're already in deep. It's not really the normies, right? The normies, yeah, okay, maybe not. But people who are really into collecting, especially Iron Mans or things like that, they'll order it overseas. We live in a world where you use your phone, click a button, you got, whatever you need. So I kind of throw that argument out of the window, right? Because if they're like, we can get whatever we want. The thing that irritates me, though, is that, like you said, I think the timing is kind of crap because it's not necessarily about the value either. I don't think it's, that's almost like some people may use that as like a straw man or something, right? If it's not about the value and you just wanted the figure, like I feel like okay, if I just bought the Mark V reissue because I missed the one, in 2017, right? And then I just ordered it, and now they put this out. Like it just recently came in stock. That's the thing. So then you're like, wow, it's the same one, but we get, an elaborate base. Like, what the heck? Why is this coming out like right now? Is it a cash grab? That's where I feel. And what impact is that going to have for Sideshow, right? Because I'm pretty damn sure that the current Mark V that's in stock, that's going to start hitting like 20% off, free shipping.
Oh yeah.
That thing's going to be sitting now for a while. Even if this one doesn't go on Sideshow, it's just because the majority of people who are into Hot Toys and stuff like that, right? They would be more inclined to purchase overseas. If so, like if they really wanted this, right? Because they're really into it. It's not like the just casuals. That's where I'm looking at it from. Weird timing, man. Weird timing.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily agree with it.
It is weird timing, and I've seen so many good comments, and really everyone has a fair point. I really feel like everyone has kind of a fair point with this one, and because Carlos and I had talked about this a little bit, so I want to pull up his real quick, and I'll pull up some of the others. But he said this is no different than the person who bought this for $900, then it got reissued. They didn't get a heads up either. That was a cash grab. Then only mad if this reissue didn't benefit you. Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. I mean that's kind of how I feel. Honestly, I do feel like I agree with that one. I mean I don't like that Hot Toys did this. I want to put that out there definitively. I think it's kind of a slimy move. Like I think it's one of those situations where it's like they put it out way too soon, right? Maybe they should offer the base as a separate accessory so people can feel a little bit more at ease about it. But I think also people are kind of operating maybe I'm misinterpreting other people's words, but operating on the assumption that the prices would have been the same. They're obviously not going to be, right? You're probably going to pay like $90 to $100 more for that base.
Right.
So had that been an option for a lot of people, yeah, maybe some would have gotten it. And I understand maybe the frustration in, hey, if this had been an option, I would have just bought this one first and could have saved myself some time, right? And I understand the frustration in that because like Anthony, like we talked about with the Beskar Mando, right, is a little bit different, but not exactly apples to apples because it's a new figure, but same kind of principles. But Kiko, what do you think, man? How do you feel about this? Do you feel any certain way about this?
I don't. I'm thankful that I got the original the original diecast Mark V at retail from a local guy here. And so I was cool ever since, I paid retail for mine, so I didn't care. And I understand what a lot of people talked about, overpaying and then getting the butt hurt because, this one just came out, blah, 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 value. The thing is about this is that we know that they could potentially do the base situation because, the lizard base is being offered separately. Mm-hmm. So maybe someone could start going into this base world. We've seen before, those dioramas that they were talking about, the Navarro play set and things like that. I think they're going to try to get back into that world. And maybe this is just seeing if people will still buy it because of the base. I think from a business perspective, there's a lot that they do just to test the waters. Mm-hmm. So they put the Mark V out there. They reissued it. They obviously knew it was highly anticipated and people got that. And then they said, okay, let's see if we can still move product if we add just a base. And they're just using this as an because the inventory is already there. The figure's already there. They're not creating anything new. So they're like, okay, let's try this tactic and see whether or not there's margin for us to make profit on this if we start including bases and things like that. I really just think it's an opportunity for them to test themselves internally because this is the exact same figure. There's no USB thing. There's no additional. It's even the same like cheap ass little plastic base that they give you too that comes with this. And so it's all the inclusions. The tray is going to be the only thing that's different. And I think it's an internal thing for them to see if this is something they want to do offer later. They'll check the prices of whether people actually order this. They'll see the margins, and then they'll see if they want to continue down that route. That's the only thing that makes any sense to me because I just think it doesn't make any other sense to me. But going back to this base, it is the same thing as the Mark III, just with a tire now. Instead of the Ironmonger coming out, it's just a tire sitting on there. So it's literally the exact same rock piece. They just added a little customizable thing. So maybe they'll offer a build-up pack of Iron Man bases where you can put your different types of displays of whether you want a racetrack or an Ironmonger, or maybe we'll fast forward and put some other type of, maybe the kid mechanic from Iron Man 3, you can stick him on there. I don't know. Those are just some things to think about, but I don't know. Who knows what's going through their heads?
Yeah, and I think this is just a real polarizing topic. Like I said, I don't think anyone likes that they did this really, except for the people maybe that are like, okay, I hope this, like I saw Sean Bean was saying, he made a really good point. I hope this drives down the price of the reissue so we can get it for cheaper, right? That I think is something where people could benefit, because everyone could be like, well, if this one does come to the States, I can get that one for real cheap now because I don't really care about that base, right? Because I do think, for example, like that Tobey Maguire is a good comparison, like because that one has the Sandman base and it's like what, $130 more, $150 more for that base. A lot of people are probably going to be like, do I need that Sandman base for that much? That's almost like half of another figure, right? That's a lot. So out the door, that Toby's going to cost you, if you buy it retail, like $475, $480. So I mean, that's no small pill. I do agree with the sentiment too being expressed that like this base is cool, but it's not like I need to go sell mine to get it. For me, it's like if you really, really love the Mark V, I guess I kind of get it. I love the Mark V; it's one of my favorites, but I'm just going to keep the reissue I got. I don't really need.
There's no improvement. There's no.
It's the same figure.
There's no head sculpt improvement. There's no USB features. There's nothing other than they just reworked the box, added this piece in there, packaged it up, off to the races. Yeah,
it's just a new base. I don't think the base is special enough for me personally. For others will disagree, but not enough for me to go sell my figure, right?
Well, it shouldn't even be about the selling part, though. That was my thing, is that it's still in stock. That's what trips me out, right? Because if you are, if you're collecting whatever lane that you're in, whatever IP that you're in, I was talking to Denobi last night actually about it, and I was like,
he's right there actually.
There he is. And so like one of the things I was like, when I, for example, when I got rid of my Rogue One figures, it was because I did, way later down the road, this was just recent, like last month, that I just decided I don't want to be collecting those anymore. Right. But if you guys remember, and this is the point I brought up with him last night, was that K2SO for a while was like $700-800. Never bothered to, I don't care, right? Because you get the figure because you want the figure or whatever it is. You don't need to because a lot of people just do that and be like, oh wow, all of a sudden it's super expensive, so I'm going to sell it, which is kind of like this whole Arena Fet thing right now with a lot of people, right? So things like that, it's like it shouldn't matter if you like the figure. So with that, it's just. The way I look at it is it's just that this one is still kind of, it just hit. So if I was collecting this, I'd be a little bummed out. That's my issue. It's like, damn, it's not because I want to sell the Mark V, but I'd be like, dude, this literally just came in stock and now this is out. Like if they did this like a year from now, I mean, people would still bitch, but I don't think it would be as,
Yeah, the timing.
Yeah, the timing is, that's the only thing that makes me kind of feel a little weird.
Yeah, I get that. And I think that's why there's a little bit of outrage in the community. But I do feel like, I do feel like, this is a figure that is great, but I don't think it's gonna come to the States in that format anytime soon. I mean, if anything, if there's any sort of precedent that was set by the Mark 46 and the Cap, those might still make it to Sideshow. But the fact that they're not on Sideshow yet, that seems weird to me, right? That seems to tell me and indicate to me it's not going to come to Sideshow, because why would they delay pre-orders? Like they want to get orders as quickly as possible. There's no reason to delay it.
Right. But I think if you remember, I think we had the gold, maybe somebody in chat knows, I don't remember, the gold Stormtrooper or the copper Stormtrooper, one of those. I don't think it was both of them. The porcelain was on Sideshow. But it was one of the other was not. Like we've seen this before. They've put out these exclusives for stores or whatever, limited, selected, region exclusives that never came to Sideshow.
Right.
So it's not like it's the first time it's happened. But what made me think is when I saw that, I was like, well, can they just do this moving forward? Right. Would this be a potential of future antics where you're like, well, I got a figure, it just came in stock, and then they're going to do it again with like a different base or something, like, because that's, again, I agree with you, the timing is just, it's too soon, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I do think it was too soon, but Carlos dropped a super chat. Thanks so much, Carlos. If you're bummed out, then why not sell it? You'll lose money, but I thought value didn't matter and only the art of loving collecting does. That's kind of how I feel about it as well. I mean, I do feel like, I think Carlos, we're all in agreement that we don't like it. We don't like the move they made. It does feel kind of icky, right? It's very soon. It's very quick. And with the one still sitting in stock, my only point is like, I think maybe like to getting people to think of value is not everything, but it is a consideration clearly, because this is a big issue to a lot of people, and maybe they're just not, maybe they don't agree for any number of reasons, but the love of collecting should always be number one. That's what I'll say. So, but it's not the only one.
People also want to know that their figures do retain value.
Apparently not.
At the very least. Well, I don't know who necessarily doesn't, because, when life happens, or, or in my case or your case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have just recently sold some figures because we're just like, well, maybe I'm not really part of that.
Right.
I'm not as into that as maybe I was, then. Right. And if you were to, like, for example, you sold your Han and Chewie and Obi-Wan, right? No fucking way you're going to sell them for $200.
No, I only sold them because they were like, I sold them for really high. I sold Obi-Wan for 500. So
right. But you see my point though? Like, you wouldn't do it if someone's like, hey man, I'll offer you $250.
Exactly. That's my point.
So the value matters.
Yeah.
It does. We can lie about it. We could try to hide it. But if it didn't matter, then we'd just be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Homie hookup, whatever.
And the value, Anthony, of what you buy it for, not just what you resell it for. But like, that's why people are going to Toys Wonderland, because the value of purchasing also matters. It's not just the love, because if it were, then you would never buy from Toys Wonderland. You would only buy from Sideshow as the States person, because the risk, right? Like, or lack thereof with Sideshow. So the purchasing value does matter. It's not like, and we'll end this and go on to the next one. It's not like everyone wants to get rich off this. It's just not the case, because you're not going to. Right. It's just a matter of like retaining somewhat close to retail value is nice over time, and value of like, I want to buy figures for as cheap as possible so I can buy more. So that value to me does matter to get the best value of my purchase. That's really what's important. But I know people have said that's not important to them, and I feel like it is. Maybe they just don't realize it. But otherwise, you wouldn't shop for deals, and you would pre-order everything. You wouldn't wait, right?
Well, yeah. If it didn't matter, then you wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't bother looking for deals. You wouldn't give a shit. Like if you logged into Sideshow. I'm not even talking about like Toys Wonderland or anything like that. Like if you logged into, Sideshow and you saw like a 20% off coupon and free shipping, and you're like, nah, I don't need that. I'll just pay full price.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, it doesn't work. That's just a bad decision in general in life, right?
Yeah.
We want to have deals.
Yeah. And I do. And Carlos had said, and I think I talked to people about this, and it was productive. Like, apparently, if you're into it for the value at any level, you're not a true collector. True collectors are into it for the art and the love. I think, like I said, I expressed kind of my concern about the gatekeeping mentality of that. I was like, what is a true collector? Like everyone collects differently, and what you collect for is your own prerogative, and but everyone was really respectful.
Profits. That's the thing.
Well, I think everyone's, in the chat, at least they're pretty respectful about it. So if you express a disagreeing opinion, like everyone's pretty cool. Like I said, no one's going to like hate you for it. And that's what I love about this community. Like, even if we disagree about, the philosophy of it, like it's,
a true collector is just a bullshit term.
I think so too, because
at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm like, yo, Will, why the fuck are you collecting those God of War statues, man? Like, that's not that's lame. That's not a true collector. You should have the collector's edition PlayStation 5 that came out. Do you have that? No. Well, then you're not a true collector. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody can just say
find
that.
a PlayStation 5, man.
Right. You can even find, right. So it's like whatever you love at the end of the day. Like, I can't tell anybody like, oh, you're not this or that, or gatekeeping, like you were saying. Like, it just doesn't. Some people collect bottle caps, dude, stamps, whatever, like whatever your fancy is.
Yeah. And Lael raised a really good point too. He said opinions. Thanks so much, Lael, for the super chat, bro. Seriously, opinions will tip the pendulum either way. The bottom line is that this was an odd move considering figures are delayed. That's my point. Yeah. But I think, Lael, the reason is because it's an exclusive. I think they're not going to make many of these. I don't think it's going to come to the States anytime soon, or if at all. So I think that's why they're doing it. It's not like a mass release thing. I think it's going to be like an exclusive, just be like, okay, and I can understand why some Hong Kong collectors might be pissed about it. I mean, because they never had the option to buy this, but it's kind of like, well, I mean, it's a shitty move, but I don't like it, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world for most people. Point.
Can I just say it's a little different with Watch Your Six, man? Because I was just reading your chat. I know a lot of people didn't necessarily complain about Stealth Suit Cap, but that's a 2.0. So for me, I think it's a lot different. I mean, the first Stealth Suit Cap is like not accurate. It's hard to articulate. Like, it's a night and day difference. So, and it's been a while. So for me, that's just that. I don't know that. I don't necessarily think that's a a justification, but I think it's a valid, response. Some of these figures have not aged well. So, 4, 5, 6 years from now, if you give me a 2.0, that's great. That's great. So, but with this, same thing as Lael said, it's just the timing, right? As we discussed, and maybe we're being dramatic. Who knows? But
yeah, and Monica dropped a comment, said it's a store exclusive. A store in Shanghai ain't paying for itself. China loves Iron Man. It's for them, not the States. Doesn't impact the States market. Yeah. So I guess the only would be like for people in Hong Kong who did buy the original. But I mean, if it's an exclusive, like I said, I think the only reason people would care is if it's a mass release, if it's a wide release, and it's like, okay, now I could have bought that one and I didn't. But if it's not, if it's an exclusive and it's very limited, I don't think it's a big.
It's a less of a blow. It is a less of a blow.
Yeah, I think it's a non-issue, which it seems like that's what it is. I think it's an exclusive store release and it's like not a mass release. Like it's not a wide release. But guys, let's address something a little more light and fun and cool and all that. And
perfect transition, by the way. Well done.
Thanks. I appreciate it, bro. It's all those caffeine pills. I'm taking all those too, and maybe the Gatorade. But Kiko, I want to jump back to you on this one because I know you had to take care of the pups real quick.
What
got you into collecting and what keeps you collecting, bro? Because I know, we always say like nostalgia and passion, but like what truly at the end of the day, like really got you into collecting? What keeps you like buying these figures and statues?
I love this topic. This is so good because this is what unpeels all the negativity that is in the community. Because when it gets down to it, and yes, we get mad about reissues or figures that aren't coming or have come, at the end of the day, why do you collect and what keeps you doing so? Why is my little handle Kiko collects? That's the whole point, is that I remember the very first thing that I got is that I've told it on my channel before, is that I went down in my grandma's basement and there was that little blue toy chest, and inside it were Star Wars and G.I. Joe action figures. And that is, for me, the thing that really separated me from being the normal kid to being the geeky kid, is that I wanted to be able to collect these things. I was like, wow, my uncle hoarded all these pieces. What does that do for me? And it's being able to say, when you collect something, you collect it to show other people. You can say, look what I have accumulated. And, some people like to keep their collections for themselves. That's not me. I like to share my collection with everyone, to be able to say, hey, come up here, come to my collection room, look at my statues, look at my stuff. I want you to see this stuff that I'm excited about. And that's why I collect, because it is a small sample of and a piece of what I love so much and what defines me. That's why I have these silly posters behind me, is because they're just pieces of what really defines me and represents my childhood and my family and growing up and all that. Oh, well, that's me again.
The ultimate plug right here.
Look at that. Look at them Ghostbusters. I love that.
I know, right?
But there's Venom. With that, I can't stop.
You just need an Ecto 1, dude.
And that's the
thing.
On,
Carlos.
I know Carlos has been extremely generous and patient, and I'm just always, I'm always finding something else that keeps keeping me away from it.
Don't copyright claim me for this, Kiko, by the way.
But that's why I collect, man, is that it's just a simple look into. Gosh, I don't want to see myself. Hell no.
Yeah, I'll show just your collection.
Enough. But it's just it's a window into me, man. And what keeps me collecting is that it gives you another opportunity to throw a little hook out there, like you're fishing or whatever, to bring back another memory to yourself. You say, okay, here is Stan Lee. I remember when I went to go see that with my friend. It's a little piece of me, and that's why I collect, and that's what keeps me collecting.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. You got an amazing collection. So, and I know it's evolved since.
What did 1-6 do? What did he just say?
What did Lael say? I got to address Carlos's too. But Lael, please change the subject and get into why Kiko keeps denying my budget proposal to come back on the show. It's because I'm hating the community. Now,
I
Kiko
have not
goes
seen
to bed
a
early,
single.
dude.
That is true. I wake up early and I go to bed. And there is nothing personal out there. You know that.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Lael. Appreciate it, bro. That's what Kiko. Yeah, like even my show at 8, he's like, bro, I could do it, but barely. He's like, I can do it. This one at 5:30 is much better for him. So.
It is. I love this one. This is fantastic.
Yeah. See, thanks, man. But while figures are delayed, Carlos, thanks so much for the super chat, bro. We can't be happy for Riva and Valkyrie, but complain about delays when a reissue doesn't benefit us. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Like I said, I feel like there are fair comments on all sides of this, but I do feel like, it's a weird move, but I guess maybe the context matters, right? That it's exclusive, that it's going to be limited, that it does matter at the end of the day. But yeah, I think there are a lot of factors to look at. But Anthony, dude, I found, I guess it'd be an old video of yours. I'm not sure. This was from January 6th. So
oh yeah, right at the right at the beginning of the new year.
Yeah, so I found an old video of your Star Wars collection, bro. Same question. What keeps you collecting? What got you into collecting?
Well, I mean, dude, I don't know. We're part of the old guard, right? When comics and Star Wars, you were just a fucking nerd. You know, you were kind of that outcast, and it wasn't because of that. It wasn't like you just gravitated as being like a loner or anything like that. I've just always had that fascination and wonderment with storytelling. Right. And at an early age, getting involved, watching Star Wars or reading comic books, you escaped the norm, you know, the standard 9 to 5 stuff, the jock stuff. You know, it's just like I don't know. It's hard to explain. Right. But you get into stuff. And then as you get older, or at least as I got older, I really started enjoying the stories more. Like when you were younger, it was more about the bells and whistles. Right. The artwork and comics, you know, the colors. You know, that or in watching Star Wars, you know, you may not understand the story as much at a younger age, but you're encapsulated by it, right? Because it's so out of this world, right? From what we're used to. Mm-hmm. And that just grew and grew and grew. And I don't think it ever goes away in people, right? I mean, I don't even want to say it's passionate about it, but, you know, there's something about, as Kiko said, like sharing your, you know, well, hey, look, this is what I really like. This is kind of a part of my life, you know, for better or worse, right? It's just awesome. It's just awesome to, you know, it was whether it was comics or, you know, the older toys, then getting into, you know, 6-scale stuff or statues, you love it. And of course, nostalgia plays a role too, right? You look back on some of those times or those moments where you're like, yeah, this was great. I remember when I saw this in the theater. Or, you know, I remember when Death of Superman issues came out in like 91 or something. And you're like, wow, that's crazy. They're going to kill Superman. Doomsday's here. You know, it's like weird shit like that. And you go back to that moment and you're like, dude, that was cool. I remember that. I remember how excited I was whenever that event happened. And then to see something down the road again with it, like, this dope. That Palpatine's the shit.
Yeah.
You know, so... But of course, you know, some things change when you're in collecting, right? We always evolve, right? Like some of my collection's not around anymore. Doesn't mean I don't love it, but you know, especially with Hot Toys though, right? Shit starts to pile up. It's pricey. And if you're like, you know, maybe I don't connect to this one as much as I did, you know, like certainly with Star Wars, right? Because there's so many lines of Star Wars, but original trilogy, dude, all day. And that's the passion, right? I don't think that's ever going to change. Like I think most of us are, you know, well, we're getting up there in age, and I don't think it's ever going to change. I think that's the true love, right? And I do want
to say that what keeps me collecting, it's also out of spite, for one, because
out of spite.
I've told this to people, and I've been real candid on my channel before, is that when I was involved in a relationship at one point, the person I was with told me to get rid of everything if I was going to stay with them. They're like, I can't be with somebody that has this stuff. You can't have this out at our house when people come over. And thank God, you know, I'm no longer in that situation. And I have an extremely supportive wife that loves all this stuff too, and just loves us about it. So never let anybody, you know, say you can't collect something, for one. And don't ever think that it's childish. I mean, look at us. We're like 40, 50-year-old men, you know, sitting here just still talking about this stuff. And what keeps me collecting? Mainly because I remember how terrible I felt when I couldn't collect because someone told me I wasn't allowed to. I mean, how sucky and shitty is that, by the way?
Yeah, that's not cool.
But to know that, like, when I got out of that relationship, and I remember the first thing I got back was it was the Black Series Grand Admiral Thrawn. That was the first thing I had got after I got back. I put that thing on my little bookcase. I was like, I collected something again. And then now look where we're at. But that's another reason why, is because out of spite. There it is. Yeah. Mine was the red. Mine was the red and black box.
Okay, I still have that one, but they put out this new.
Yeah.
What the hell are these called? They're just reprints, right?
Archive or whatever.
Yeah, the archive. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I love Thrawn more than. Well, I love Thrawn. So yeah, I get you, man.
Me too. So yeah, that's why spite, because I hate the fact that I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It all makes sense, man. Anthony, don't copyright claim me because I'm playing your video for the last.
No, it's cool. I don't even own these figures anymore. So
okay, cool.
This is all, No, I just got rid of all the Rogue ones.
Oh yeah, I saw that actually. Yeah, and for me, man, I don't like getting rid of figures that I really like. But for me, man, it's like if the price is really good, I can end up getting that figure again later if I want. Or I wouldn't sell Loki or Kylo Ren or something. But if it's like Obi-Wan, who I really like, but if I can get double what I paid for it, then I'll just wait. I'll wait until they make a 50th anniversary one, and I'll get that one. Or if I really want it, I'll go back and buy it again. So. That's kind of how I view it. So
I get that because we do value money.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I see what you're saying, right? That's where you're like, well, I'm going to get rid of this.
Right.
I've enjoyed it for a while. And make no mistake, man, every person that I've spoken to that, I've sold off some of my collection to were very excited to get that figure. Oh, I've been looking this for a while, I'm going to take good care of it, things like that, right? So I feel that it's, it's cool knowing that somebody else will have that and enjoy it the same way that you did for however long they'll enjoy it.
Also a really good point. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And Andrew James, it's been a while, my man. I'm low-key salty about that Mark V since I just got mine. I get it. But Matt, it is what it is. Hey, Mafia and Kigo. Thanks so much, Andrew. I appreciate it. I think we all understand. Like, we all empathize with that. I mean, I got the Mark V too, the reissue. So, the base to me isn't a deal breaker, but if it were, like, I would be like, yeah, that kind of sucks. And I'm a little annoyed by it. But, I feel like after being Beskar Mando'd, I don't really have I'm not surprised, and like I said, the context I think matters considering this is an exclusive. So, I think that changes things a little bit. But and I saw Lael's comment too. Lael said some commented to him. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, Lael, I think honestly it's mostly just respectful disagreement from what I'm seeing, but I've not been able to monitor every single chat. So, but like I said, I think this community is more respectful than people give it credit for sometimes or realize.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, here's the thing, and I've said this, and from past bullshits, but like, it's not to say that nobody doesn't like anybody or things like that, right? When you come into collecting, one of the main things that you think, at least in my opinion, is like, oh, we all have something in common, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, we like to collect. What is it? Oh, Hot Toys. Okay, 6 scale, whatever. So you just automatically this, a community starts to form. But it's, I don't know where I'm going with that, but you know what I mean? Like,
no, I get it.
But for the most part, everybody is cool because of there is at least at the end of the day, there's one common ground. You could be like, I really hate this fucking guy. But damn, he's got a good collection. You know what I mean? Or something like, I'm just teasing, of course, but there's always that baseline that we can all relate to on some matter at the end of the day. If we disagree with each other, if vehemently oppose one another's, positions on something, we can at least there's that constant, that one constant baseline that still reunites everybody at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. Our passion and love for collecting, man. It's, sometimes we lose sight of that too. But Anthony, you gave us the perfect segue, bro, because the next topic, how do we promote love and negate stress in collecting? So Anthony, I'll start with you on this one. I mean, it's just, I think we all, like I said, enjoy the love of collecting, the love from the community. I mean, people support each other through non-collecting stuff all the time. I mean, stuff that we've all gone through. We've gotten support from each other and from people in the chat and people who message you, and in the groups, people help each other out. And like, it's a really, like I said, heartwarming and nice community. And I'm really excited to meet everyone when I go to some of these events and stuff and meet people and like see people that are in the chat that I actually can see in person, right? That's going to be pretty exciting. So Anthony, what do you think, man? How can we promote love and negate the stress? Like, how do we do that for ourselves and for others, you think?
Oh, man. Guided meditation. Dude,
meditation's actually
high on
good
stress,
shit.
Bro. That's my shirt. So, no, it is. But no, listen, I think it all boils down to the roots of humanity. Without trying to sound overly dramatic, but it's that, treat others as you want to be treated. And I don't think that, there's a lot of, here's the problem. When we say that there's a lot of negativity or, this and this, it's the world that we live in now. Typically, you live on this world of social media where there's a lot of text, right? There's Twitter, there's Facebook, Instagrams, where people just type out whatever they're feeling. at the moment. And I feel like sometimes that gets over exaggerated, right? Because like we can poke fun at it sometimes, like when Hot Toys drops something, right? And then you see all the comments on Facebook, right? All of a sudden people just kind of go, oh, well, look at all these people just shitting on something. Well, maybe not though, right? Maybe it's just like they're not conveying it like we're used to conveying it, like with conversation. You know, they type a few words and they hit enter, and then people like, you know, count that as scripture. Oh, look at this guy. He always hates everything. Well, does he? Or is he just trying to voice, you know, just have a conversation? So I think people need to, like, that's one thing to negate stress. Don't necessarily think that everybody out there is toxic or hating on things. Having, you know, civil discourse between one another, open dialogue like what we're having, right? There's a lot of people that I hang out with in the community, either off camera or on camera, and like maybe we don't see eye to eye on a lot of shit, right? But when you talk with people, you're like, you know, hey, that's a good point, or you know, you understand people's perspectives and things like that. So it's always, like I said, like just try to treat everybody with the same respect that you want, right? Because shitting on things all the time, all that's just not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody else. You know, be around people that, you know, want to promote one another as an individual, right? Like, I want you guys to be successful and like whatever the hell it is you do. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to just be happy with everybody, man, or the best that you can, right? Like, I get it. Not everybody gets along, but you just got to promote love. That's how you do it. You just treat people like how you want to be treated and smoke a lot of weed.
That's what you got to do, man. The meditation and that.
So I'm just kidding.
Take some
you know what I mean?
Pills.
Yeah. Well, maybe you might get too.
Yeah, you might get too amped up at that point.
Yeah.
You won't be able to meditate effectively, but
yeah
definitely.
I like shit like this. This is so cool, right? Like everybody got to like come together. You might be like, yo, man, I didn't like that dude. And then you meet him and you're like, hey, he's pretty cool.
Riley. And the Kiko's like,
right?
Because
you don't know, because maybe
cool.
you were, well, no, I'm not saying Riley. I'm just saying in general, because that's what you have. I mean, like, let's say someone like that was always typing on a platform, and you're like, oh, man. And then you meet somebody or have a conversation with them, and you're like, wow, okay, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just like me. You know,
weird guy.
Riley was getting everybody there, wasn't he?
I know, man. Riley was hitting up everybody, but yeah, great, dude. Seriously, great thoughts, Anthony, on that one. Hey, Kiko, what do you think, man? How do you approach this?
I feel like I'm just hyping my channel the whole time because I talk about this sometimes quite a lot. But the thing is that online is not real life, and I think people, especially nowadays, is they think everything written on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, or whatever, they think this is real. They think all these people on YouTube are real. That's the real versions of them.
The fuck, am I not real?
You are a real OG.
You're blowing my mind right
You're
now,
a real
dude.
Man, but maybe there is too much weed going on there.
That's what it is.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
no, I understand.
It's the coffee and the weed.
But what I was saying is that, you know, online is not real life. We can portray who we want on these channels and on our sub channels and things like that, and we can promote this image, but we have no idea how these people go to sleep at night. They have no idea what they wake up feeling. They have no idea where they go to do their jobs and things like that. And the thing with that being is that we can get so stressed out watching people online that we think is real. Oh my God, they just released this. I got to go get this thing because someone else has it. Or, oh, I'm not allowed to like this because someone said I don't like this. And they said, oh my goodness, one of the things I love about the younger collectors is that I think they have an understanding of realness, that you don't have to collect like you're 45. If you're 18 and you're working part-time someplace and you get a hot toy every month or so, that's awesome. I didn't have hot toys growing up. I certainly didn't. I had like little tiny shitty things I found at garage sales, but the opportunity that you could go and get a premium collectible is cool. And you shouldn't be upset about stressing whether or not someone was able to go, and whether you have 100 figures or you have 2 figures. Be happy with what you have and don't worry about fake internet points. I think that's the thing I'd like to just stress, and I'll be done with that, is that don't worry about fake internet points. Realize that the internet is fake. Everything on there is staged. Think about the Instagram models and the lives that they have, and, you know, taking pictures of, oh, last night was like a movie, but, you know, they're really just like at a Motel 6, you know, just sleeping in there with like 15 people in one room.
Dude, that's deep though, right? Like,
it
you bring
is.
up like, that's a point where you're like, where people, and I'm not even talking about Hot Toys, bro, but like people get on Instagram or something, they see all these people, and they're like, oh my God, look at all these people like living the dream. And you're like, well, what about my life? This sucks, or whatever, right? You know, for example, it's not real.
It isn't.
And people start to think
this is deep.
Put themselves down.
I need to hit a little myself to calm down. But it is super deep because, you know, we get so stressed thinking about what can I do over things that aren't even real. And you just hit that 100% on the head, man.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Well, that's a nice page.
Is this fucking Gremlin?
Dude, that's Gizmo. Dude.
Gizmo. See, I've never seen the movie, honestly.
Dude, come on.
Fuck are we doing on?
I know. I gotta watch it, man. There's a bunch of movies I'd surprise you guys haven't seen. But,
I know.
You know, and considering I did so many movie reviews. Yeah.
Dude, Gremlins was the shit.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And Kiko was clearly at this Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just trying to show what was going on. Oh, look, there's that Chrome Trooper that everyone.
The gold one.
Yeah.
Why is it look so black here but gold?
Great.
Well, that's the Death Trooper.
Right. But I mean, like now it's like gold. I mean, it's weird. It's like
I've not seen the final.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen videos and I don't know.
All lighting and angles.
Yeah. I canceled mine though, even though I just said I was going to keep it because I saw more photos and videos and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that. So, dude, those Transformers are pretty cool.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Those are some badass figures. 19-inch, 21 inches.
Yeah,
there's some studs. I love that Optimus. I love that Megatron.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. But guys, great thoughts on that one. I want to address something too that hopefully the chat can engage with as much, but the collecting experience between statues and figures, because you guys have both experienced both worlds. We've known how this goes, right? They're a little bit different in sort of the whole process, the purchasing process, the display process, the unboxing process. You know, everything's a little bit different. Even the enjoyment. So Anthony, I'll jump to you again on this one. Do you feel like the experience overall is like substantially different? Like, do you get more joy out of one over the other compared to statues and figures?
Okay, how does the collector's experience differ? Well, yes and no. Okay. Right, because when you get a statue, this goes back to what we were saying earlier, man.
Yeah.
That shit costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, hot toys are expensive, right? You drop $200, $300, $400 on a figure, but sometimes you drop $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a statue. So I feel that that's the difference. You pick up a statue piece. One, a lot of times you're waiting forever, right? Shit's on a boat. I mean, granted, you know. Yeah, see, I don't.
Was this the one you had? This is the one.
I had Reptiles, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero, all the classics, the pop culture shock.
I knew it.
I adored these statues, bro, because I mean I loved Mortal Kombat OG growing up, and you know down the all the sequels and stuff. But like original Mortal Kombat, it brings you back, right? Comes back to what we're talking about with collecting. My problem was they're just too damn big. They're third scale, right? But I tell you what, when I got these, I was very excited to open them, which isn't to say that, you know, you're not excited opening up a 6-scale figure, but there is a difference. You're like, wow, this is like a really big piece. It was expensive. It's just a different experience, you know, versus, well, depending on your level of Hot Tails, right? Or Hot Toys, you're like, okay, maybe I get a lot of these. So you're kind of used to it, right? Maybe you don't get as many statues. So when a statue comes in, yeah, I feel like you're a little bit more excited. You know, but they're two totally different worlds.
Right. Yeah, they really are, bro. Did you get these yet, Anthony?
No, dude.
Because Kiko and I have them. I have Revan.
I don't know, and I know Mario got them too. I wanted both of these, and I remember I told you somebody told me they had a deal for me for Malik, and I was like, cool. And then that fizzled out. I was like, dude, what the hell? So I did not get it. But man, do I love Knights of the Old Republic. So it's a tough one, man. But you know, honestly though, I think XM's prices are too expensive.
They are a bit high. I mean, this Revan was like 1,000 to 1,100.
Yeah, for what they are, I don't think they're as.
It's not fabric or anything. It's all sculpted. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they're really overpriced in my opinion. But I love these, man. And I just decided, you know, whatever. Eventually, we're gonna get some 6-scale figures. My hopes. Whenever that remake comes back out, and you know, Hot Toys is like, hey, okay, Knights of the Old Republic, let's make some figures, let's make Mission and, Bastila and everybody, right? Whoa, that would be something else. But I can live vicariously, man, through you guys. Be like, hey, this looks badass. I'm glad. I'm happy that you guys got it. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah. It's pretty badass, dude. Before I get to you, Kiko, on this one, let's address Jose Luis, $10 super chat. Thanks so much, Jose. Is this hobby about having the first issue figure or having the most realistic? I see many people selling to upgrade. It is not like other hobbies. Card collectors don't sell a 60s card to get a 22. Yes, it's the exact opposite of most hobbies. For most, you want the first edition. It's funny, I had a friend who collects sneakers and things like that, and he asked me about this. He was like, why do people sell the old one to get the new one? I was like, because they're not really the old one loses value. It's not like older ones where you have the rookie card or the first edition, right? It's not like that. It's like where the newer one is improved with paint apps, sculpt typically, tailoring, whatever. So it's always better. So people will always want that one more. So when there's a reissue or a remake, the original figure tends to go down in value a lot. You guys agree with that overall, right? There's nothing crazy there.
Well, it's a little fluid, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because some figures do still hold their value, even though there's 9 versions of them, right? Mm-hmm. So there's some fluidity to it, right? Because it's not every one. I mean, I'm trying to think of some examples here, but for the most part, yeah, right? Especially when Marvel's churning out a new Captain America every year or something, right? Like people start to just be like, well, maybe I like that one better. It's newer, or maybe like with Ragnarok, you really wanted a Gladiator Thor. And you're like, okay, well, I had a Thor from Dark World, and the damn Ragnarok was really cool, and I really like this outfit. And then, you sell it, and it's, you move on.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kiko, you tend to agree, right? Like it's people just go for the quality in this hobby, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to go. And the only ones that I guess increase in value are the ones where there's only one of them. There's only one Yondu. There's only one of whatever the individual run is, which is why people do get so mad when something is reissued potentially for that purpose alone.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kiko, how do you feel about this, bro? Because I know you have both of these statues, and I know you have a bunch of others, and now you become a statue man, even though you have a lot of figures too. How do you feel about the differences?
I think they'd said earlier is that it is 100% a different world for sure. But man, when you first get one, I mean, if you don't have like a local comic shop to like stop by, that's where you can like find these and kind of look at them in person and such. It's just so hard to see like online, because I'll even say that the promo photos of Malik are not the same as what actually came out.
Better or worse?
Better, a lot better. The final product came out a lot different. And plug is that immediately after this stream ends or depending on when we get off, 7 Central Time, 8 Eastern, my statue showcase is going live on the channel where I show all my statues. And I started with the Mythos Sideshow Darth Maul. It's a sick, there he is in the corner there. That was the first statue I ever got. And I walked into a comic shop and my toy store, Replay Toys, and I said, that is an incredible silhouette. You can just kind of see the outline of him right now. I mean, that's the thing about him, is that statues give off an amazing presence and silhouette. And that's, I think, what's so cool about them, is that someone said, well, once you get them, that's the way it is. But I'm not going to be able to pose a figure any better than that. And so they are the definitive look for your character that you're looking for. And I think that's what separates it from, a statue and a figure. Yes, it's posed one way, but it's the best pose that you can get. And with this is that you have to really think through. You're not just going to usually go get a statue on a whim. It's hey, do I have the space for it? Do I have the money for it? And this is something I really want, because once I have it, I'm probably not going to be able to move it very easily. We've talked about that on these streams multiple times before. But to answer someone else that said in the chat, they're like, well, once you get a statue, you're stuck with it. Not necessarily, because there are swap out hands and heads and all kinds of different things to where you can do all kinds of fun things if you want to, change it up a little bit. So they aren't just one and dones completely, but I didn't think I'd have one statue, let alone a few, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a different experience. And statues are getting better about that. I mean, it's not the case with J&D because they're going for hyper realism, not really versatility. But, a lot of these Prime 1 and Iron Studios and, all these other companies
What
that are
the hell
making
is
really.
Carlos talking about in the chat
I don't know,
about Riley
dude.
Reid and Lotto?
Who knows, dude? Who knows with him? But he was talking about his feet earlier. But like they do have swap outs. Like you guys were saying, like I'm looking at Jin Sakai right now, and I could swap him out in 2 different poses, basically. So and that Iron Studios Thanos I have from Endgame, I could put him in like 3 or 4. He's still standing upright, but you can change whether he has the Nano Gauntlet, where he has the Infinity Gauntlet, his sword, not. So like there are options, and with Revan, you can do 2 different poses with him, and actually more than that because he has 2 of them swap out sabers. Like he has the Force hands.
Revan's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you can do some stuff with him. So I mean, I didn't get Malik Kiko, but I think I'm fine with just Revan. But this Revan is really nice. But Anthony, I do see what you're saying to a degree. I mean, I do wish it was fabric. A lot of people don't like mixed media, but I kind of do. I kind of like that ultra realism.
Yep.
But it's still a really good piece, the sculpted. And I was just desperate for a Revan, to be honest. Yeah, I was just,
Well, it's Revan. I mean, if you had to make the choice between one or the other, you pick Revan.
Oh, yeah.
It's over just Malik how it is, right? Malik's cool, but it's if I'm not going to talk about it if people don't know Knights of the Old Republic, but, that's how you do.
Yeah. And I'm with you, Anthony. I do hope we get 1.6, but that game has been delayed, dude. Like over and over.
I know, indefinitely, they said.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's, I think it will come out eventually, but it could be like, I don't even want to shock people. It could be like 5 to 7 years. I mean, it could be like a long time. So it's, I've seen how that shakes out. So, but guys, I think we got time for one more. I kind of want to ask another question here. Saving space for hypothetical collectibles, because I do feel like we all probably do this, but maybe some of us don't even realize it. Maybe some don't do it at all, but I bet a lot, I'm willing to bet a lot of us do. Like, for example, I have only a set room for statues, right? It's not really hypothetical at this point because Prime 1 has already announced they have the Last of Us license, right? They are going to make Last of Us statues. But even if they did not, they make a lot of PlayStation stuff, right? I could have probably predicted at some point, this is a popular IP from PlayStation. Prime 1 likes to make PlayStation shit. They probably going to make Last of Us. So maybe I would save room for a Last of Us statue, right? Mm-hmm. Do you guys do that? And Kiko, I'll start with you before Anthony this time. Do you do that, like saving space for hypothetical? Like Anthony had referenced 6-scale Revan, right? Probably going to get that at some point. Do you save room for like a hypothetical like that?
Yes, but it's so damn hard to do so. Here's my true story and I guess my little life lesson. So I had told myself in another video that enough is enough. Remember this? And I said, I'm not moving anything in until I move other things out. I was like, I have a definitive finite moment to where I can only put so much stuff in my display area. So then magically, somehow, I was like, I think I can fit 2 more little shelves in here. I was magically, of course. And 2 more shelves came in. And it's like, it's almost like if you keep like cash in your pocket, you're going to end up spending it. I had shelf space. And what do you know? I fucking filled that space.
Yep.
And why would I do that? Because the space was there. And I kept walking. I was like, oh, it's empty. I need to go ahead and put something there. And that's happened. And do I save space for hypotheticals? What I do is that I try to foresee, where can I add something else around here? Things like that. I start thinking through how to revamp my display because no one ever stops collecting. You always will collect something if you're a collector. So how do you continue to do so? Well, you got to make room for it. So I'm constantly planning, and I've already started to, I end up going back on all my decisions I make. But with that being said, I've said, there's a lot of Marvel figures I have. A lot of new ones are coming. Maybe I don't need 6 Captain Americas, that span the MCU. Maybe 1 definitive one is good enough because that opens up 6 spaces, essentially. So I'm thinking through those things. And I think we all do this, is that if you want something, you're going to make room for it. Bottom line is that if you want something in there, I don't think anyone's going to be like, oh, I want this, but I don't have the room for it. You will find a way to make room for something you really want.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree. And I think, if it's something that you really, really enjoy or really, really want, then it's going to be worth it, right? That's, for example, Kiko, I know John had mentioned at some point they're looking at a 1/2 scale Loki for Queen Studios, right? I'm getting the 1/4 scale and I plan on keeping that.
Is it just a bust 1/2 scale or a full?
No, a full statue, like kind of like the Kappa showed. They're going to make a Loki, and I think it's going to be Avengers probably in the King.
Like
outfit.
A 3.5 foot. 3.5 foot.
Yeah, Loki. So like I'm getting the 1/4 scale one, and I plan on keeping that. But see, that 1/2 scale is really it's different outfits to a degree, right? It's still Avengers, but like one's kind of like his his normal outfit, casual, one's the Avengers like King outfit, right? So I think that's what's gonna happen. But it might be a thing where I'm like, I might have to get both. But and like you said, I'll make space for that if I have to. But Anthony, what about you, man? Do you make room for hypotheticals, like say the Revan and Malik from Six Scale and stuff like that?
Well, sort of. I'm always look, a huge part, I think personally, an equal part actually, of collecting. So half is collecting, the other half is your display. That's how I look at it. I look at it 50-50, right? Because if you don't have anywhere to put anything, then you're just a dude collecting boxes. Like, so that's not a fun hobby to be in.
Correct.
So I always look into the future, right? Like I have Maji cases coming. I'm considering building another one of my cabinets, behind me, things like that. Because when you collect for the most part, right, it doesn't ever really truly end, right? I mean, you're not like, I'm done.
No.
It just doesn't work that way. So yeah, I do. But I'm with Kiko, man, sometimes because I'll make room for space. And then I'm like, damn, there's a void here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm looking at a shelf right now.
Right. So if I don't end up buying something just for the cause, then I'll space some things out to kind of fill in because I just don't like seeing the gaps, right?
Correct.
But when I know, because this is what we do, we see things coming out for pre-order, we're in the know, right? So I look ahead. Or for example, and I say this all the time, man, like last month, go, okay, how many figures were announced for pre-order last month? Well, I don't know. Let's just say 7, right? Then I know in April or May, I may potentially be hit with 7 figures coming. If I wanted all those, I'm just, this is a hypothetical here, but that happens. That happens with us, right? So I try to always look at least a year ahead. What's coming? Oh shit, my DeLorean's going to ship, probably in 6 months, right? You don't wait for the DeLorean to show up and be like, oh fuck, where am I going to put this thing? Right? No, you have to start.
You have to figure it out.
Yeah, right.
So I think all things collecting is hypothetical, right? Because like I said, you never end. So you always, at least for me, I feel like you have to always plan ahead. Let's not forget some other stuff just may pop up you're not even expecting, right? Like you maybe not, for example, you probably didn't know Revan and Malik were coming until Revan and Malik were announced. And then you're like, oh my God, I got to get this. Where'd this come from? Just out of left field. Here they are. I need to plan ahead. So that's kind of how I look at it. Yeah.
And what happens when Nihilus gets announced out of nowhere? Right?
Oh shit! Don't do that.
I mean, it's
I still have my 3 3/4 Darth Nihilus.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember him.
Okay, yeah, I had the Black Series Nihilus at one point. And
I got the old school 3 3/4 because you can only buy them in it was like one of those 3 or 4 pack bundles. I'm sure they still do those, but it's been a while since I've looked.
Yeah, but I honestly would not be shocked if XM says we're going to make a Nihilus too. That'd probably be the other character. Yeah, especially that's probably the other character order. Yeah,
they could do a Nihilus and Bastila.
Yeah, they could. Those would probably be the 2. If you're going to do 2 more, those would absolutely be the 2. Yeah, but
then give us a Carthonassus. And then,
they could go deep down that line.
They go deep. I would have.
They'd have to wait, I think, for the game to come out, though. The remake, to do something to go too deep. I feel like
maybe a little too deep. See, that's right. Where your previous conversation about what statues is so hard for me because I'm such a fan of comic book X-Men, and Iron Studios has been killing it this past few years, dude. And I was like, I can't. What am I gonna do? Buy 1 X-Men? I'm gonna have to buy 76 of them. And all 3 Sentinels. And then,
that Sentinel display is really cool.
Dude, is badass. But you see what I mean? So, we can't, it's hard. I love all this stuff, but we just can't, we can't collect all of it. And then we come into this with space. We're like, oh my God, where am I going to put this?
Yeah, it's true. Dude, guys, excellent thoughts on that one. So, we're going to wrap it there, and then we'll save one of the topics for next time about unboxing. But, guys, thanks so much. This was a really thoughtful, engaging show, and I always love doing that. Yeah, right. It always gets philosophical on this show. So, and with you guys, that's how we got there. So, but Anthony, dude, thanks for joining, man. Like I said, I'll be on yours tomorrow, so that'll be 9:15 Eastern, so it's 6:15 your time, right?
Correct.
Okay, dude. Yeah. Well, excited for that. Thanks for joining, man. What's coming up on the channel other than, that and everything else?
Well, I mean, Well, obviously, thank you for the invite. It's fun to, have these kind of conversations as always with you and Kiko. And tomorrow night, 6:15 Pacific. These time zones, man. See, I'm in Arizona. We don't have a time zone. We're the only one in the country, so it's weird. But anyway, so 9:15 your East Coast. Yeah, we'll be doing our live stream there Saturday. I'm working on a couple of older reviews still as well, and it's fun, man. We got a lot of shit coming on, man. It's really cool, man.
Nice. Well, sounds pretty exciting, dude. It's gonna be fun tomorrow night. So I'll get to chat with Beard God again. So that'll be good. And it'll be fun. But thanks for joining, man. And Kiko, thank you for joining back-to-back weeks, man. It's got to be some kind of record. So
it definitely is, man. I love being on Light Camera Collect with these guys. But what great topics tonight, man. I really loved that. Thank you for always, letting me come on and just rap with you guys. And thank you for the doggy break I had to take. It's all good, dude. But either way, got some really good stuff coming, I think, to the channel. As I said, T-minus 57 minutes from right now. If you have nothing else going on, make sure you are subscribed to my channel for the premiere of the statue showcase, because we're going to be going over all my statues that we have and giving you thoughts and opinions on those and kind of letting you see a little bit what statues are all about. And if that is successful, I thought about doing a third-party showcase because my collection's gotten a little bit out of control. And if we ever do a collection tour again, it just takes forever. So I have a bunch of third-party figures. And so if the statue showcase is decent and people want to see more of that, let me know if you want to see a third-party showcase, because I got a really, really cool third-party piece in this week, that being Caecilius, also known as the Zealot Sorcerer from Doctor Strange. Mads Mikkelsen. He looks awesome.
Nice. That sounds awesome, man. Like I'll do a collection tour at some point, maybe in a year when I get my Maji cases. So it's right now it's a little bit chaotic in here. So, I'll try to make do. But yeah, man, thanks for both you guys for joining. Seriously, always a great chat with you two. And, every Friday we have this show and hopefully we can have you guys back soon. I would love it. So, it's going to be a blast. And then we have Collectors Mingle Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll be on Anthony's tomorrow, like I mentioned, at 9:15 Eastern, 6:15 Pacific with those time zones. And Kiko, when he starts doing live streams, I'm going to be on there. So
that's coming eventually. More soon.
And keep an eye out for Kiko too. He'll be floating around. He'll be back again.
Yeah. I will.
I know.
Nice
it's hard because you're 3 hours too, right? That's why I start. You're like, damn, I gotta make. Maybe that's why you need a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Saturday.
See? Or that caffeine pill.
Maybe.
Right?
One of the two.
I will try the pink drink at one point. That's my goal.
Yeah, I kind of want to try that. I kind of am interested in that. Yeah.
Give it a try.
We're going to do a pink drink review. That's what it's
pink drink review.
Oh.
If I come to Nashville, Kiko, we'll film one. We'll film us going to get a pink
live
drink.
reaction.
Yeah, live reaction. So, but yeah, guys, thanks so much for joining. That's going to be all for this show. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.